And good Sunday morning to you. Welcome to Upfront, your public affairs program, heard each and every Sunday morning right here on Big 101.3 and Cat Country 98.1. I'm your host, Ed Pereira. Thanks for making us a part of your weekend. We're glad you could spend some of your time with us. And, you know, you've been looking around the house all year long, haven't you? It has been one of those years where we've been kind of homebound, more so than normal. And we look around and we see things that should be done. And sometimes you think, I can do this myself. And other times you go, no, I can't do this. And then you look across the street and say, how about that poor guy? Look at his roof. That looks worse than anything I ever had. Well, friends, we're going to talk about roofs for just a moment here. We're going to talk about a lot of things this morning. Joining us this morning is Stephanie Pickup. She is with the good folks over at Carefree Homes in Fairhaven. And Meg Rogers is also with us from the United Way of Greater Fall River. First things first, welcome to Upfront.
Good morning. Thank you for having us today.
It's nice to have you here. Stephanie, we're going to start with you right away because I know this is year number 6 or 7.
Number 6. It's our
number
6th year.
6. You have been doing this, finding ugly roofs.
Yes.
For lack of a better term. the ugly roof people. No, they look for the ugly roofs and then you try to help out. I got to ask, tell the folks about the promotion first of all, and we'll go from there.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. So this is our 6th year of hosting a roof giveaway. We do it every year at the new year, so it is our New Year, New Roof giveaway. And we actually heavily rely on the community for this to work. So we ask members of the community to nominate a needy and deserving homeowner who needs a new roof. So perhaps it's someone who's overwhelmed with medical expenses or someone whose job may have been impacted by COVID. Whatever the circumstances may be, for some reason they're in a financial bind and they need to replace their roof but cannot afford to replace it. So we invite the community to nominate those special people, and then we choose 3 to 5 finalists depending on the year. Last year we had so many overwhelmingly awesome people that were nominated that we had 5 finalists, but we have had previous years where it's been 3. So 3 to 5 finalists. We choose them, and then the community actually chooses the winner. So they vote online, and they're the ones who choose the winner of the free roof, which is a GAF Timberline HTZ roofing system. And we proudly partner with GAF Roofing every year. We couldn't do it without them. So
thank you, GAF.
Yes, GAF. They're great. Right. So that's about it in a nutshell.
That's it in a nutshell. That's the synopsis. That's the Reader's Digest version of this. Now we're going to get a little more involved with this. Meg, and you come along from United Way of Greater Fall River just to not just give moral support. I know that.
Just like a backup dancer here. So United Ways around the country and around the world focus on supporting folks in the areas of health, education, and financial stability. And sort of along with that goes the basic needs, which having a safe and secure and warm home is part of that. So when Stephanie reached out and said, do you want to help share this program that we're running? Do you want to partner with us? I said, sure. There's a lot of folks in need in our community, so we're going to use our voice to help share this project and hopefully help someone in Greater Fall River get a new roof that needs it.
No, there you go. Now, United Way is one of those great folks that most of the money you give to United Way stays right in your own backyard. And I think that's always something you should always mention because I think that's one of the things that makes United Way so great.
Yeah, so wherever, if you give to your local United Way, they're going to use it in their direct service area. So for us in Fall River, that's Fall River, Westport, Assonet, Swansea, Somerset, Tiverton, and Little Compton. So if you donate money, if you volunteer with us, if you donate canned goods or a coat, or if you're participating with us, it's staying in those communities. It's not going anywhere else.
And I get the sneaky suspicion that the need this year is greater than ever, whatever it may be, because I'm sure you're finding more people coming saying, I'm not sure what I should be doing here.
Right. Folks are experiencing food insecurity. They're experiencing housing insecurity. They're having trouble with daycare and learning pods and remote learning, and all. They're having trouble finding these resources that have never needed them before. So we've been really working with our agency partners to make sure that there's supportive funding, that there's programs set up, that people just know where they can turn, because folks haven't had to do that before this year. So we're there trying to get that information out to our partners.
Right. Now, Stephanie, you came up with this idea. How did you come up with this idea, first of all? I'm kind of curious, and I already see a big smile like, oh, Ed, this is a 20-minute story. No. But how did you come up with that idea? You said, I think we should give a roof away. And the boss looked at you and said, you want a what?
Yeah, my husband. What? What do you want to do? You want to give? We're always trying to give stuff away. I know, it's my favorite thing to do.
It's so fun to give away.
And he's going, sometimes we actually need to make some money, honey. It's called a business. Just in case you were wondering, we like to have profit.
Exactly. Well, the great thing about Carefree Homes is that we are family owned and operated. So my father-in-law started the company back in 1978, and my husband and his brother and my father-in-law were all still involved on the day-to-day operations, and so we really like to carry our personal values over to the business, and we are really heavily involved with our community and volunteering. We're also very involved with our United Way of Greater New Bedford as well as United Way of Greater Fall River. So to be able to incorporate our values as far as giving and sharing and helping others, we can kind of merge our business with so you're taking your product and you're doing a good thing with it. So we decided, whatever it was, 2015 or whatever, we were actually approached by GAF because they had kind of started doing these roof giveaways throughout the country.
Oh, okay.
And they said, hey, what do you think about doing a roof giveaway? And I said, yes, that aligns perfectly with our mission, with our business and our mission of giving back to the community. So that's how we started it, and it really has taken off. I think we started off our first contest that we ever had, had about 500 votes, and last year we had over 5,000. So it grows exponentially every year.
Oh, hold on a second. The first year, about 500, you said?
I think there was about 500 people who voted.
In this year, this past year, 5,000?
Over 5,000 people voted, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is.
You've really gotten the ball rolling with this. Every year it just seems to be getting more steam.
Right, and our winners have been geographically spread out. Last year was the first time we had anyone from Cape Cod win. So the Manning family from Falmouth, they were the first Cape Cod family to win last year, and it just keeps growing. So the more communities that hear about it, this person's getting a free roof, the more people talk about it, and the message is shared, and it grows.
Stephanie, I have to ask you though, when you announce who this person is going to be, these people must be just like, I'm getting a new roof. I mean, what's the reaction you get from folks? Like, do they give you like, what's the catch? I get the new roof, but what else do you want from me?
Yeah, so what we do, obviously, by the time that they're to the point where they actually win the roof, they already are well aware of how the contest is run. But I have had in the beginning, the first or second year, I forgot what it was, that someone who was nominated for a free roof was actually a World War II veteran. His son had nominated him, and he actually declined because he wanted someone else to have it. He didn't want to have it.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he was an amazing person. I think he was, he was like in his 90s. I forgot what it was, but a World War II hero, and said, no, thank you, I want someone else to have it. So, we get to meet some really amazing people, the people that are nominated. So,
I'm sure you must have been like taken aback for a second, like you.
Yeah, we ended up doing something special for him on the side. We actually had him be the parade marshal at the Fairhaven's Veterans Day Parade, and so he was honored in that special way, which was really great. But so by the time people actually know that they're the winner, we actually kind of do it Publishers Clearinghouse style. So we coordinate with the families, and we just blast into their office or their home or wherever it is with balloons.
I'm not ready for this.
And usually lots of tears, lots of hugs.
Yeah. It's a relief to know that your roof is new.
This year going to be socially distant.
I know. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, how can I not hug the winner? I hug the winners every year.
We'll give air hugs, okay. Everybody gets an air hug,
We do a food grant blitz, and last year we drove around Fall River to all these food pantries and soup kitchens with the big check and the balloons. Like, it was sleeting, it was gross, but it was so fun to, hand over the check and, do this. And this year we were like, I guess we'll send some emails?
I know.
It just doesn't have the same effect, does it?
No. I mean, it is the same because everyone's really excited when you get an email that says, here's the money.
Congratulations, but at the same time, this you go, okay, I guess so. So the good folks at GAF came up with this idea. You ran with it, and the next thing you know, here we are 6 years later and going stronger than ever.
Yes. It's a lot of fun.
That's amazing. It's amazing how that just took off. Is something like that, and it is taken off. The other thing that is amazing is that when Stephanie said, "Well, do you know my husband?" I went, "Oh my gosh, I know who this young man is." And I went, "Wait a minute, I called his name on radio many times during football games." And I'm like, "Oh man, that means they've got kids." And oh boy, that means that I'm a lot older than I thought I was. We'll just leave it at that right now. And they're like, boy, one of us is getting older, and it's not me, it's all of you. And I'm just going to leave it at that. You're listening to Upfront here on Big 101.3 and Cat Country 98.1. I'm Ed Pereira. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday morning. Stephanie Pickup from Carefree Homes in Fairhaven and Meg Rogers from the United Way of Greater Fall River are our guests this morning. We're talking about a wonderful, I guess we can call it contest in a sense, can't we?
It is.
It is a contest, right? Going on to award someone with a new roof that is going to make your life a lot easier. A roof is good for 20 plus years usually, I would think. And the Timberlake, the GAF Timberlake one, installed by the good folks over at Carefree Homes, will last like maybe a lifetime for you. We don't want to say that, but we're going to anyway. Hopefully it'll work. And if not, well, you can blame them later. Don't call me on this, okay? It'll work out fine. Or call up GAF, and it'll be just as good. So how does one go about getting involved with this contest then? So I just say, I got to nominate someone. What do they do? Do they go to your website? How did that all begin?
Yeah, so all you have to do is visit our website at www.carefreehomescompany.com. World's longest domain, I apologize. So it's carefreehomescompany.com, and you go right to the homepage. We'll take you to the New Year, New Roof page, and there is a short form that you fill out. So obviously we ask for all the basics, the homeowner's information, their address, all that stuff. But we do ask people to share a story because this is very much a human interest story. So we want to know who they are as people, what their struggles are, and why they deserve a free roof.
All right, Stephanie, so you sit there, you read these things, and I already can tell that there's going to be tears streaming down your cheeks as you're reading some of these stories, aren't there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So every year it gets a little bit more intense, and it's very difficult because you do want to give everybody a free roof, and there are some people who have some extremely challenging things going on in their life, and some are out of their control. Things like cancer or multiple sclerosis or whatever it is, that is, some sort of thing that they didn't choose, right? And that they wasn't that any fault of their own, other than the fact that just they were dealt this particular hand. So lots of tears and very, very difficult to sometimes pick, well, who do we send off to the final round when you really want to be able to give everybody.
And then once a person has been nominated, what happens at that point?
So once they're nominated, we put everybody's story up on the website so everybody can read them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then we do choose, so we'll basically go to United Way of Greater Fall River, United Way of Greater New Bedford, because they also partner with us, and we say, hey guys, give us your top 3 or top 5 folks that you think should be in the final round. And we basically choose a finalist that way, 3 to 5 finalists, and then at that point, those finalists go on to the voting round, and that's where the community comes in, and they actually vote online, and they choose the winner. And it's all done at carefreehomescompany.com.
Wow, that's pretty good. Now, Meg, I have to ask, when it's time to narrow the list down to 3 to 5.
Oh, we're going to sit and cry. Yeah, that's
yeah. Meg said, oh yeah, I can tell you right now, it's not going to be pretty, Ed. Okay, but it must be something when you're sitting there saying, how do we narrow this down to just 3 to 5? It's going to be a difficult process too on your end too.
Yeah, I talked about it with, we had a Zoom call because we were all working from home. So we chatted about, this project to give the okay and say we're gonna promote and we're gonna share and we're gonna try to get our partners to nominate their, the people they know could really use this boost for their home. And we're gonna it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really hard to think. And we do this a lot. We give out a lot of grants. We give out a lot of funding, and you end up sort of picking your person, and then you kind of fight for them to go forward and why they deserve that thing. So that we're gonna kind of, just like we do with our grants and our allocations, we're gonna probably pick our families and battle out who we actually recommend.
We'll have a battle.
It's gonna be rough. We're gonna do it though, but it's a good
Zoom toss down, huh? Okay,
basically, we're gonna throw it down on Zoom. It's good. It'll be good.
We'll be Zooming everywhere just as we speak. If I have to Zoom one more meeting, I don't know. I'm already Zoomed out for the year of 2020, that's for sure. So this is a nice thing to start 2021 off with. You have until the finalists will, the time period is?
Okay, so I'll give you the dates. So basically the nomination period starts January 1st. Okay. And the nomination period goes from the 1st through the 7th. Okay. So you have about 6 days, whatever the math is. Nice math in the morning. And then we do announce the finalists on January 8th. And then the voting takes place January 10th through January 15th. So we try to get it done in a fairly short amount of time. It's a pretty quick move along.
Towards the halfway point of January, a winner will be announced.
Yeah, the winner should be announced by the 18th of January.
Wow,
yeah.
Great.
With a surprise.
I proving that I know absolutely nothing about roofing, I'm assuming you can't put it up starting on the 19th. You got to wait for a little bit warmer weather, I would think.
Well, it depends. We usually have pretty mild winters. We do roofing all year round. I mean, unless there's an Arctic blast. It
felt like an Arctic blast this morning, I can tell you, when I woke up and saw snow on the ground for a minute. I was like, where did this come from?
Yeah, as long as the temperatures are mild, we do install roofs throughout the year. And like I said, it is a GAF Timberline HDZ roofing system. And it does come with a 50-year factory-registered roof warranty, which is really awesome.
That's impressive.
It is impressive.
Yeah.
And it's transferable. So if they go to sell their house, it makes it worth more because that warranty is transferred over to the new homeowner. So that's why GAF is our number one shingle. Yeah,
I can see why they would be. I can understand. And in case you wonder, Stephanie can tell you, and this is where you get to put your shameless plug in here, for the good folks at Carefree Homes. They have been around, as you mentioned, since the 70s?
1978.
1978, there you go. Yep. And here we are all these years later, and still going strong with the second generation, if you will, of folks running the show. Also, they do more than just roofs, right?
Absolutely.
What else do you do?
Yes. So we specialize in exterior remodeling mostly. So roofing, siding, windows. We build decks, porches, sunrooms. We do build additions and new homes, although more of our business has sort of shifted more towards remodeling since about 2008. We used to kind of be 50-50. And then 2008 hit, and then people started to improve more instead of building new construction. So although we still do build, the heart of our business is now exterior remodeling. So. Yeah.
And I'm sure you're getting a lot of remodel work right now because, as I mentioned at the top of the program, people are sitting around their homes this year more so than ever before and going, we got to change this.
Oh, yeah.
This is not working.
Absolutely.
We could use a new kitchen. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, lots and lots of sunrooms, people that are trying to add on extra space because they're working from home. I need a home office, so they're doing additions like that, or just sunrooms just to kind of extra space. They want a little extra living space. And a deck. Decks have been huge this year. But there have been challenges that have come along with COVID. There was, they had sort of stopped, lumber had kind of almost doubled in price because they had stopped manufacturing it for a little while with COVID stuff going on. But
I've talked to many a builder and says the toughest thing to find is finding wood.
There was a shortage, and I was like, what? Like, you don't think of these things until everything got disrupted. So things are back on track, which is great.
Which is good to see, and hopefully we will say goodbye to 2020, and 2021 will be much, much better for each and every one of us. We certainly hope that will be the case for you and yours on this Sunday morning. You're listening to Upfront here on Big 101.3 and Cat Country 98.1. I'm Ed Pereira. Thanks for joining us this Sunday morning. Stephanie, pick up from the good folks over at Carefree Homes over in Fairhaven, and Meg Rogers at the United Way at Greater Fall River are with us to talk about a wonderful giveaway once again this year. It is time to make sure your new roof could happen for you. If you have a person you want to nominate for this, there are so many stories out there of people that could certainly use something like this. This is the year to do it. And Meg, I also have to ask you, when it comes to United Way, people that go into the business community, you've always been able to get them to help in your hours of need. This is going to be a tough year to ask the business community, hey, can you step up and help us with something like this when they're having their own struggles?
Yeah, it's kind of a delicate balance because folks do want to give back.
Sure.
Especially seeing maybe their colleagues or family needing resources that they didn't need before, or just feeling like I know my husband and I upped our United Way gifts this year because we both worked throughout the whole pandemic. We didn't, suffer any job losses or anything. So we're like, other people need that support. So there's kind of both at the same time. Like, some people aren't able to give because their financial situation has changed, which is why we're partnering with programs like this and really trying to reach deep into the community to get funds out to different programs that we might not have worked with before because folks need it. But at the same time, givers who have been giving are stepping up and increasing their gifts because they know that they they can at this time. So we're just grateful for anything,
right.
everything, even if it's people who are just sharing our social media posts to, share what we're doing in the community. That's amazing. Or if they're volunteering, or they're cleaning out their cloak closets, or they're donating to a food pantry nearby, like that's all good stuff. And we want people to give back however they can, whether it's money or goods or just their time or. Yeah, that's what
I can see Stephanie shaking her head right away saying, yes, that's absolutely right. That's why they're excited about their 6th annual roof giveaway, and they need your help to make it a success. And then you're going to nominate someone. If you go and nominate someone, you nominate them and send it to your website. They can go there and fill out all the information, correct?
Yes, so visit carefreehomescompany.com. There's a very simple form.
That's easy.
That asks for basic information, and then we do ask you to share a little bit of the nominee's story. And once it gets there, it gets posted to the website, and then we will review all the stories, and then we'll choose the finalists who will go on to the final voting round.
I was talking about business with Meg for a moment ago, and Stephanie, when we talk about business and people come to you, I'm sure you get asked for many different organizations just in Fairhaven alone or here in the greater New Bedford area saying, gee, could you help us out in one way, shape, or form? And you want to help everyone. But there are times when you got to say no, and I'm sure it's hard to do because I find the same thing when people come and ask us about different donations, and it's like, I can't play in every golf tournament because I'd be doing it in every week for 40 weeks, and no, you just can't do that. We have to say no too. It's a very difficult thing to do, isn't it?
It is, and that's why we really love working with our local United Ways because they are hitting all different areas of the community. So it's we whether it's the Hunger Commission in the greater New Bedford area, right. Or when they're doing their school supply drive for local schools in Greater Fall River, we're hitting all different areas of the community by working with one organization. That's why United Way is so important in supporting your local United Way because their hands are pretty much in everything.
Right.
And the great thing is knowing that the money that you give is staying in your local community. I think there are a lot of worthy organizations that you want to support, but by working with your local United Way, you are able to make a tremendous impact. And and they do allow you if you want to specify. So say education is your passion and you want your donation to go towards educational things, or if it's food insecurity and you want it to go towards you can kind of choose if you do have a particular passion. But either way, even if you said don't specify, you know that it's going to where it needs to be. And so we do a lot with our local United Ways, and we do. I'm very involved with our kids. We Gnome Surf, actually, who United Way of Greater Fall River actually just gave them a really great grant, which we're so thankful for. But I'm on the board of directors there. But we are in everything. So it is a challenge, but we are very confident when we work with our United Way that it's reaching who we need to reach.
And I think the one thing that why we ask for you to give, and we do that a lot on this program, we'll ask you to dig deep in your pockets, and there's a reason for that because, this is our home too. And you know what? If we're all doing a little bit better, all of us are going to enjoy what we reap here, and that's what we're trying to do in a situation like this, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And this year has been so different. I was with United Way of Greater New Bedford, we had the Help United Fund, which basically provided funding to people, whether it was for rent, mortgage, and utilities, things like that. So we had applicants applying for assistance up to $1,000, and so I was one of the fund reviewers. So you were assigned a particular applicant, and you interviewed them basically, and it was people who said in tears, embarrassed because or just felt they had given to United Way. They had never asked for any help for United Way. So it was small business owners, hairdressers, it was restaurant owners, it was people who always considered themselves the givers, who were actually asking for help and were crying over the phone because they'd never been in that position before. And this year it's so important, and that's why this year is a little bit more special than others, I think, because we're going to be reaching people who never thought they'd be in the position that they're in. Right. And that's why the New Year, New Roof giveaway is going to really be a life changer for someone like this year, as it always has been. But
this year even more so. Meg, I would also think that this year, when it comes to fundraisers and things like that, they've been pretty much put aside, and that makes it even more difficult.
We've had to get creative, which has been fun. So we had our big
and we all learned how to use Zoom this year for everything.
Yeah, we ended up we had these plans for our kickoff event to have this big trail festival with food trucks and a beer garden and do all this stuff, and it was going to be great. And then we're like, oh boy, We can't do that. And so we made it a virtual weekend, and we sat outside and waved hi to everyone out in the bioreserve, and people came and they walked and they ran and they rode their bikes, and then came back again the next day because they realized that Fall River has some beautiful woods to walk around in,
which I never realized until I went to the campaign kickoff.
It's gorgeous out there.
What percentage of Fall River?
50%. 50% of Fall River is woods and water.
Did not know that.
Wild. Half the city is not what you think of as Fall River. Half the city is this truly beautiful.
Walk down near Battleship Cove and take that walk right along that whole area down there.
That whole area.
Beautiful.
So think about that's all Fall River. So we did that. We've shifted our campaigns to be virtual. So we pop up in people's Zoom calls, and we do our spiel via Zoom, and we do online pledge forms, and just kind of shifted. We hold weekly meetings still with agency partners to see what's going on, who needs what, what's, the shift, what are the needs. But yeah, it's actually, we're feeling more connected to the community than before in a really, really cool way. We've made some new partners this year. We funded some really cool programs, like Stephanie had mentioned, Gnome Surf. We hadn't funded them before, but they needed support to help do surf therapy, which is not something your insurance is going to pay for. We've funded some learning pods in the city that parents need more care for their kids because they're working and kids are on hybrid. So, there's been some really cool programs that have popped up this year because of COVID that hopefully are here kind of to stay and support the community in new ways. Yeah.
It is something when it comes to that. And Stephanie, I have to think that everybody at Carefree Homes, when you make the announcement of who's doing this, this must put a smile on everybody's face in the office, out on the field, everywhere.
Yeah, every year it's fun. We have a good time, and I think we get very emotional about it. A lot of, like I said, I'll be crying at the office reading the stories, and my husband's like, "Oh boy, what?"
It's that time of year again, isn't it?
That time of year.
Okay.
Steph had another nomination, and I'm like, "Can't we just give them all a free roof, Steph? We need to pay the bills."
How about if we give them a half a roof?
Yeah.
No, we can't do that either.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it is a wonderful feeling, and just knowing that you are truly making a life-changing impact is pretty awesome.
Do you hear back from the people after you've installed the roof? I mean, your past witness, have they ever reached back out to you?
I do actually. Actually, we're going to be doing some work for last year's winner, some additional work. But I actually still text some of them, and just say, "Hey, hello, how are you? How are things going?" Before COVID, I would pop in for a cup of tea at one of them at the Britlands in Swansea. I would pop it over their house and say hello if I was in the area, and you become connected, and they become part of the Carefree family, is what we call it, because we are a family business, but our customers are very much our family. Right. Over half of our business every year comes from past customers who are returning, or they're recommending their friends and family. So when people come on board and become a Carefree customer, they are really part of our family, and that's how it feels. So I'm still connected to a lot of them, yes. Yeah.
I had a sneaky suspicion you would.
Yes.
All right, so let's just go over this one last time before we wrap things up here.
Yeah.
How do you get involved with this one more time? They go to your website, correct? This is how the process begins. So take us from there.
Sure. So visit carefreehomescompany.com. Right to the homepage, it'll bring you to the nomination form.
Right.
Just fill out their basic information, share their story, submit it. We will post their story to the website. We will choose the finalists, and then obviously they'll be notified if they are a finalist. They have signs that go in their yards, things like that. And at that point, it's the job of the finalists to rally the vote. So it's a campaign. They each run a campaign. Last year's campaign, the Manning family, oh my gosh. If you actually go to the website, you can see some of these surprise reveals. We have them. Last year's is on the on the New Year New Roof page. But to see the stories, to see the campaigns that are run and the surprise reveals, oh my gosh. It was awesome. The Mannings were probably the best that we've ever had. They had the grandchildren making videos. And they're just adorable. So it was just really, really awesome. And they engage with us on social media. So, they're putting their stuff out there on Instagram, and we're resharing the stuff. It's just really awesome. It's a really good, feel good.
And you, as part of the public, can help vote on this once again. How they have time they have to do that, and they do that. Online voting takes place January 10th through the 15th
Yes.
in 2021. And so they go to the website, and they can cast their vote, see who
Yep,
the
same thing.
finalists
It'll be the
are.
same place where the nominations were held. A new form will be posted, and that'll be the voting form.
Gotcha.
And then people just go and just click and choose their winner, and it's super easy.
Wow,
And then they
simple
can
as that.
watch. And then we do share message boards, so they're able, when you cast a vote, you can leave a message for your favorite finalist.
Right.
And so we do have message boards that pop up, so people leave just heartwarming messages. So even the people who don't win, the whole experience for them is really uplifting because they are finding that people that they forgot about, maybe someone that they had known from high school or whatever it was, are coming back and supporting them and sharing a message of support. So it's really, the whole thing is just all good vibes and feel good and truly carefree.
I think that says it all right there. We've run out of time. Stephanie and Meg, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. And continue success with this campaign. It's going to be great.
Thank you, Ed.
All right,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
so much.
We thank you for joining us on this Sunday morning. We'll talk to you again same time, same place next week. Until then, I'm Ed Pereira. Have a good week, everybody.